Hey guys, late week, last NASCAR week of the year 2023, almost in the books. Everybody headed to Phoenix this weekend. Trucks and Xfinity, even a little bonus ARCA, and of course the Cup guys going on Sunday. Titles all around, 4 playoff contenders in each division, and not a lot of money to be made on those championship bets. If you didn't get those down earlier in the season, you are SOL. For us last week, really good week. Really good week. Good week on units. 2-2 on our bets, but one of those winning bets is a banger. Plus 250. Top 5 on Sammy Smith in Xfinity. He damn near won the race. Finished third, I believe, but that was the absolute sweet spot to be in there. Hit Christopher Bell. Even money for a top 10. And missed on a couple others. Larson missed the top 5 by a spot. Think he needed to be, he needed to be 5th. I think he finished 7th. And missed a matchup over there. Win against Busher, which was right strategy, went with the wrong guy. Ryan Blaney wins the race. And he makes the final round of the playoffs. And if there's a guy personally I've been more down on all season that was actually in contention, it's probably nobody but Blaney. I had virtually no Blaney over the course of the season. In our season bets, never recommended him, but he has come on strong. And Phoenix is a good track for him. It's where his teammate Logano won the championship last year, which we gave out at 16-1 and was a banging winner. And we like Logano this weekend not to win, but to be a component part of this. Blaney absolutely can win. Larson effectively plus 150, plus 175 to win. Blaney and Byron both in the plus 275 area. And Bell, the other seed there, another recent winner, plus 400 basically. There's some 500 out there if you really go shopping. If you didn't buy your Bell this summer, you missed it. Here's what we're doing. Obviously, talked about last week, 2-2, 47-35 on the season, plus a unit and a half. Nearly 20 units just since the All-Star break. So plus 19.8 units since the All-Star break. And we've made money almost every week, obviously. So this has been going well. Solid unit plus a week for you guys on very limited cash outlay. Not betting very much on these races and coming on strong. So showing you some consistency. We had season bets. And we have some guys on a Discord we work with, and we gave up some really interesting season bets, some really good prices early on. The one guy that went early, to the people not in these videos, we got some Byron. We got some last Byron in February at 1,600. So I'm personally covered for Byron. You are not, but frankly, he's looked the weakest last week going into this final race. So I'm not that mad about you not being on Byron. What you do have, if you follow the videos here from the All-Star break forward, we gave you this summer effectively 5 picks. 5 picks for season bets to be in. So if you're in with us, you're in on these guys. Ross Chastain at 1,500, gone. Made the playoffs, didn't make it. Tyler Reddick, we gave him to you at 2,000. There was some 2,500 out there as well. Gave some 2,000 this summer. Playoffs, yes, didn't make it. Kyle Busch, he had that 3rd win early summer. Gave him to you at 1,200. Made the playoffs, didn't make the final 4. But the other 2 did. We gave you Bell at 1,800. Still in play, obviously. Into this race, he's 400-ish. 1,800 if you bought Bell this summer. And Larson we gave you at 650, and he was available 650 and 700 almost to the end of summer. Well into July, August, we'll give it that. Right now you've got two of the 4 picks at much better prices. Again, Larson's selling for about 150, 175 today. We gave him to you at 4 times that, or a quarter of that, rather. Bell, the same situation. He's out there 400 to 450 today. 1,800 is where we gave it to you this summer. I'm in on Bell. I've been buying him since before the season, anywhere between 12 and 25 to 1. Bell is my best call, and I win the most. I have the most personally at stake in Bell this weekend. Let's hope that works out. What are we doing in this race? Top 4 guys are like off on an island odds-wise. Almost unbettable at this point. Wouldn't touch him in the Cup race. What we're going to do is pick over some top 5s and top 10s. The books have a lot of things mispriced this week, especially top 10s. Why? Because top 4 are so overpriced and so overvalued and so expensive. And what the books do is they're not really adjusting the rest of the field on these top 5s and top 10s. Because beyond these top 4 cars, you're seeing some crazy numbers. You're seeing Harvick in like the low double-figure hundreds, 12, 14, 15. But you're seeing guys like, Hamlin out around 2,000. You're seeing Logano out around 2,500. Guys who are in cars that are just as fast as these top 4. But what they've done is they've carried the cheap prices rather from those winning bets all the way down to these top 5s and top 10s. Early in the week, a bunch of places debuted their top 10s, and they were a mess, and they were too cheap, and players jumped on them hard. So the really good prices we saw early week at Barstool and at DK, long gone. But a few places still have them up, and a few places don't seem to care to change. These aren't the hard card recommendations yet, but if you go to 365, you're seeing Denny top 10, even money, 100. You're seeing Logano and Truex top 10, $1.25, plus money, $1.25 at 365. Keselowski, I started buying at 240. He came down to 200 at 365, and there's still a lot of value there, as there is on Briscoe, 240 at 365. Again, when you calculate these top 10s, understand that it's 1/30th, roughly, of what their winning line should be. So a 1/30th on Briscoe is saying he's like a 7,500, 70-1 to win the race. I don't think he wins the race, so he has won here before. Other guys we like or that seem cheap at these metrics. Chastain at 275 for a top 10. Gibbs at 3.25 for a top 10. Almirola, who's great at flat tracks, and they brought back a version of the New Hampshire tire to this track where he's always good. Almirola 550, Suarez 650, Eric Jones 800, 8-1 on a top 10 for a guy like Eric Jones. So those are all 365. You may see in some other places. Betfred, if you're in a Betfred state, also has a few outliers as well. They have the Gibbs top 10 at 355 as we're talking on Thursday. The two deep ones in the field I love for a top 10, again, at huge plus money. Hocevar 12-1 top 10, Betfred. And McDowell, he's 2,000 at 365. Maybe he's going over the season. I don't care. He's 2,500 at Betfred for a top 10. 25-1 for a guy who's been good at these shorter flats in a Ford over the last couple seasons. 25-1 for McDowell to be in the top 10 at Betfred. Yes. Dabble in these. These are just fantastic. So I like some of those. What we are going to go with the hard picks, I don't have matchups yet that I like. I'd like to see qualifying. I'm not going to jump into matchups early week on this. Here's what we will buy. We'll buy Logano, plus 125 for a top 10. Blaney's teammate, a winner here last year, good on this style of tracks, and probably going to be out there trying to run interference for Blaney, try to stay with him near the front of the field. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go Logano at plus 125. I'm going to go Keselowski at plus 200 at 365. He's probably good down to 175, 160. That line's out there some other places. But I like Kes for a top 10 here at 200. What else do we like here? Those are the biggies. I've given you a lot of nibbles here. I gave you a nibble bet last week. I really liked Bell's top Toyota. Didn't make it. But this top Toyota pricing is screwed up too because of how expensive Bell is. 365, top Toyota, Hamlin 650, Gibbs 1,200. I like Gibbs here. I like some of this Gibbs top 10, 355. Again, too long of a shot to be an official pick, but there's a bunch of value here. And a bunch of these top 10s are going to end up really paying for you guys, I think. I've played a lot of them personally, but the only official picks so far, Logano and Kez at 365 as top 10s. But I mentioned all the other ones I like there. The pricing's great. You know, Briscoe 240, this Gibbs pick, Jones at 800. There's a lot here to work with. Down ticket. Haven't seen much I like in the trucks at all. But here's where we are going to nibble. And to try a couple things here in the Xfinity cars. Sammy Smith, top 5, 140 at Phoenix in the Xfinity Series. Top 5, 140 at 365. I think there's some $1.25 elsewhere. But get that 140. Please get it. He should have won last week, in my opinion. Got a third. He's hot. I know he's switching teams next year. I think he's still going to get a good car this week. Another guy switching teams, the other Smith brother, Chandler Smith, top 5, Xfinity, plus 250. Let's try it. He's been great here in trucks, good in Xfinity, on Phoenix, is great tire wear guy for a young guy. Plus 250, top 5, Chandler Smith, available a lot of places. See that at Caesar as well. He's 2,000 to win if you want to sprinkle at Caesar. If you don't think one of the Championship 4 is going to get it done. Over in trucks, no strong opinions. Not putting any bets out there. Phoenix is a good track for a lot of guys. In my heart, I want it to be Infinger. In my mind, it's going to be Heim. But I don't think there's a lot of value playing either of those guys. Or Ben Rhodes just has a bunch of drinks afterwards because he's won again, seemingly from the back of the church. So, nothing in trucks. Couple things, couple top 5s, the Smith brothers, Sammy and Chandler in Xfinity. and Logano and Kez, top 10s from 365 in Cup. I would also consider playing again. Hamlin, top 10, 100, 365, if you can get that as well. 4 official picks, 2-2 last week. Hope you got your money down the season bets. We'll be back to recap the season next week. Praying for Bell. Larson's okay. Boy, I don't want it to be Blaney. Boy, I don't want it to be Byron. But we'll deal with it. We'll get through it. We've had a great season, a great summer with all y'all. Let's go to Phoenix. Let's talk next week. And then, after that, we'll see you in February.